All right, guys, so for today's drawing, just so we can incorporate line, we have this picture, and you can kind of see like these marks on the side. So I'm gonna scroll down in increments, and we're gonna kind of do like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those people that do like the printer drawings, where they like go back and forth. Well, that's kind of what we're gonna do. This is a very simple line drawing, but we're gonna work it from top to bottom, a little section at a time. Now, I did put these marks here. These marks kind of give you an idea so you can keep up with your paper. Like this first one is 1/4 of the page. This is 1/2 of the page. And this is 3/4 of the page. So you can kind of see where it's going. Once you get to that mark, you should be at 1/4 page. Once you get to this mark, you should be at about 1/2, 3/4, and then the full page. So what I'll do, I'll scroll down, give you a couple seconds, and then I'll keep going. Now, I am recording this on video. That way, if you need to pause in between, you can pause in between, because this is something that we'll probably do in the drawing on your own time. All right, so like I said, whole paper, pay attention to the marks on the side, so you can kind of give yourself an idea of the size and scale of this. And we're going in small increments. So the first section is there. So draw those lines. Pause. Pause your video. All right, we're back. Next section. Boom, number 2. Looks like that. Like I said, you're kind of looking at where these lines start and where they end. If this is a halfway point of the paper, just, take a look at some of those cues so you can see where those lines start and where they end. Pause your video. All right. Next section. This is section number 3. And there it is. Number 3. Pause your video. All right, next section. Okay, so like I said, these marks right here, the ones that are red and black, those are just to give you an idea of how this paper is split up. That should be 1/4 of your paper, 1/2, and 3/4. So right now we're a little bit over 1/4 done. Pause your video. Okay, next section. Boom. That's the next one. And you can see we kind of started very easy. We had the first section was just a couple of lines, and now it's starting to come in and create all these other lines. So, really pay attention to what each one of these lines is doing. Like, for example, this first one, it's not a straight line. It actually curves a little bit. So pay attention, see if you can match exactly what's there. Pause your video. Next section. There is a next section. Now this one is probably one of the most complicated because you start adding these shapes in here. See if I can zoom in just a tad. Pause your video. Next section. So I don't know if you can tell what this is yet, but we're right about just a little bit above the halfway section. I don't know if you can tell what that is, but that is our next section. Pause the video. All right, so now we're getting past the halfway mark. That's next. Draw those lines. Like I said, we're drawing a little bit at a time. And in a minute, you know, before we start this, I am showing you a video that's talking about someone that draws like a printer. And you kind of see what we're doing here. But this one is just a simple line drawing. You're just trying to match up the lines. Pause the video. All right, next section. Boom, right there. I'm pretty sure you can see what we're drawing now. Now, we are about 60% done with this drawing. And then right there, pause the video. All right, next section. Boom. Right there. Now some of you guys are gonna be like, what the heck, we're drawing this upside down. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of crazy, but sometimes your brain reads lines and shapes better if you look at them at a different angle. So that's why we did this one upside down. Here in a minute, you'll see that we'll complete it and you can flip it over and see how well you did. Pause the video. All right, next section. There it is. Now these last couple of sections will be a little bit easier because, you know, it'll just be narrowing down and drawing a little bit less. I think the most complicated area was right in there. All right, pause the video. All right, next section. Boom. And we got two more and we'll be done. There it is. Pause the video. Pause. Next section. Boom. Pause the video. And here's the last one. Bang. So this is actually a drawing done by an artist, Pablo Picasso. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of this guy, but this is his friend Stravinsky, who was a conductor. And if we flip this over now, you can see kind of what it looks like right side up. So now you can kind of take a look at your picture, compare it, see how well you did. You know, as far as you being able to read lines, you know, this part, especially with these hands, is like, you know, he's doing this thing like this. Is probably one of the most complicated sections of the picture. But if you could make that look okay, then, you know, it seems like you're reading line okay. If your drawing is like totally out of whack, maybe it's like really short, skinny, whatever the case may be, it doesn't match up perfectly to this, it's okay. Because just like anything else, you know, art, it's all about repetition. It's all about practice. And a little bit at a time, you will get better. I did make this video so that you can pause and work at your own pace. So if you're having a hard time keeping up, all you have to do whenever I said pause the video, pause it and hit play once you're done with that section. So if you need to go back, go back. But this is today's line drawing exercise.